business meeting is in session. This is Malcolm.
This is Joe.
And this is Tim. And today we're going to hit relationships. Nothing specific. I mean, a bunch of things about relationships. We're going to hit romantic relationships. We're going to hit friendships. I almost choked to death. Joe,
Just now?
Yeah. Joe, we can hit your marriage. So let me start.
Almost choked to death once in bed with this girl. That's why I was like, is that where we're heading?
No, I just almost choked to
Immediate
death
death.
just now.
Just immediate
So
death.
let me start out with this then. For you, Malcolm, what constitutes a good friendship?
A good friendship?
A good friendship, not romantic relationship, a friendship. It can be with a male or a female.
It's a good friendship?
Yeah. Is it? Let me
guess
ask you this too: Is it also different between a male and a female? Touch that as well.
Yeah, in some ways, of course. But I think what constitutes just a good friendship in general, a good level of trust, not just in like, oh, is this person gonna steal from me, but just like being vulnerable around them, I guess. A good level of just trusting them with like how you feel, what you want to tell them.
Mm-hmm. Like a safe space, kind of.
Yeah, like safe space. Sort of.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Without it having to be said, like, hey, can I tell you this? That sort of thing. Like, just skip all that and just tell me what it is.
It's absolutely fair. Yeah,
that kind of shit.
I agree.
Secondly, just being able to have fun, which I guess is also another vulnerability thing, because
It can be for some
what
people.
we do with each other, like, you know, we never had like I never felt like we had like a feeling out period where we were like, oh, can I just like
Right.
fuck around with these guys, say this like really fucked up joke real quick, and like worry if you guys are gonna laugh or not.
Right.
It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know, some level of genuity. I don't know how to put that.
Yeah.
Like
Trying.
being genuine.
Okay. Being the real you, not
Yeah.
a facade that you put on
In
for
the real
other
you,
people
but
as well.
also like I guess mutual understanding of where you both are at.
As far as the friendship, or just
As
in
far
life.
as friendship and in life and just as people, like where you're both at. Like
Okay.
for me,
That's
friendship is like a thing where two separate things coming together and still knowing that they're separate, but being together.
Okay. Let me
Terms of,
ask
like,
you this then.
friendships, relationships in general, I think.
The best friend that you've ever had. Who was it?
Chris, he's still alive today, so the best friend I have.
So shout out to Chris. Chris, I don't know you,
Shout out
but
to Chris. Yeah,
I want to give you a shout out because I love Malcolm. If he loves you, then you know, good person.
Yeah, he's
hate
moving
you
out
both,
to Texas with his
so,
wife right now.
What's up with Chris though? Why is the friendship, the bond that you and Chris have so special? If you don't mind touching it.
I don't know. We became friends when we were 12, 13. Wish you were here just so you can like correct me on certain shit. 12, 13. We were both on the swim team, and our parents met and they started hanging out a little bit, and so we hung out together, just like playing games and stuff. And I don't know, we were just really good friends, just always joking and shit like that. Really funny, fucked up sense of humor. We both had the exact same sense of humor,
Yeah.
just stupid shit. You two remind me of us in certain ways.
Yeah, because I think you and I have very similar senses of humor.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
stupid shit, just
It's
dumb
just funny,
shit.
yeah.
But you're just
Yeah.
laughing your ass off.
You
that type
didn't.
of shit.
You might have, but I am like a goldfish in this way. You can go back to the animal episode. I forget very quick. You didn't really hit on trust. I don't think. Is trust a big thing for you?
I believe so, but that's another thing for me that should be unsaid. I shouldn't have to think about that if I'm with a friend. It's automatic.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even touch it because you feel like it's something that
It's
that
just
shouldn't
something
need to be touched.
automatic.
It just should
Things
be
like
there.
that are just like, yeah.
I really like that.
Like there's
Yeah.
already trust
That
there.
makes sense.
I really like that. And I
There doesn't have
respect
to be a
that.
conversation to pull to the side or something like that. Like, hey, can you not do this? Can you blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So would
Stuff like
you? It kind of sounds like what you're saying as far as friendships too is the same as relationships. What's the different things in a relationship that you would need
In a
aside from a
relationship,
friendship?
talking about like a romantic one?
Yeah, a
In
romantic
a
relationship.
relationship?
With a man. With a man.
If it's with
With
a
another
man,
guy?
that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
If it's with a female, that's fine.
I specify that because we're not gay. I just want to make sure. It's just messing
Yeah,
with
we're
them.
not gay at all. When was Pride Week?
I just like to kiss guys on the lip. That's all. Wait,
Pride
what?
Week's over, right?
We're talking about
I
Pride
think that
Week?
was a whole month, wasn't
Okay,
it?
thank God. That
Pride
shit's
month?
over.
Isn't
Why?
it a
Thank
month?
God.
God. It was a month?
Why the?
Isn't it March?
God, it was a month?
Isn't it
I
March?
don't know,
Whatever.
I don't know.
No, whatever.
But anyways,
I don't
what-
pay attention.
Obviously, we don't, you know.
We don't pay attention.
I don't. It's not one of the things that I'm in. So why would I? Anyways.
Anyway, go back
If
to
you're,
the.
hey, listen,
we
just
still
to
on this?
pause. If you guys are gay, that's fine. We're not going on you. We just don't understand why there's a month. Stuff like that. Educate
Okay,
us.
good. It's in here. You guys never saw it, right?
Is it like dildos and
No, okay.
chains
good, you
and
never saw it.
gags? Anyway, all right. So
All
what
right.
constitutes a good what constitutes a good romantic relationship for you? Yes.
With a man.
It's funny. All the same stuff.
Plus a penis.
Plus another penis, I guess, right?
Multiple.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Sometimes.
Anyways,
yeah.
Okay.
enough bits.
enough of that. Yeah, enough of that.
All right. Kind of the same thing, though. I would assume.
Yeah, mostly the same thing, but like, what makes it love?
Well, because you're more of you like the mind of a person. Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, she has to have some type of physical beauty. I would assume.
Yeah.
At least your view of physical beauty, but she has to have a mind more than anything, right?
Yeah, like she has to be like a person I'm interested in mostly. She doesn't have to be like super duper smart, but at least curious.
Curious is a
about
good
lot
one.
of shit. Like
Curious
just
is a
willing
very
to
good
just learn.
Yeah.
Willing to just learn even if it's not something that she knows she wants to learn.
Wow.
If that makes any sense.
No,
Just,
yeah, it makes.
just willingness to learn. But yeah, sapiosexual. I think I told you guys. Like, yeah, I need to be into like a woman's mind and shit.
And how
What makes it
as
different
far
though?
as
It's a hard question. Loving me is hard.
loving you is hard or loving in general.
I think both. Loving me is hard, and also loving in general is
I would say the
kind
same
of a hard thing.
Loving me is hard too, but
I think that's everything. Everything about the concept of love, which is just this is the logical side coming out. It's just a chemical. So just the if you don't understand the emotion side of it, and I don't. For
You
the most
do.
part, I understand it. It's just it doesn't connect right. So that is what makes it difficult. Just not really understanding this, like the stupid small little thing of like not grasping a simple detail like holding hands or
Right.
That's
or
something
when
you won't do, or what
it's
do you
not something
mean?
that I won't do. It's
Something-
It's this doesn't click in my head. Like I go to work and come home, make dinner, whatever. At no point does the idea of let me hold my wife's hand.
Because sort of like
just because-
physical
because-
sign of that love.
Yeah.
You mean?
right, because it's not that it's not important. It's just something that doesn't necessarily cross your mind.
It
It's
does.
just
It's just genuinely like
to you, it's not necessarily a show of physical affection. It's just
Yeah.
something you're doing.
yeah.
Which I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like you're getting.
That's
at.
what it like. If I had to list it off on my day,
Uh-huh.
it like if everything was methodical, that would not be on the list. However, it's not something that I would not put on the list. It's just something that
It's not pertinent.
it just
Yeah.
ranks around and moves around so much that it's something like an idea takes priority over that, and it kicks out that, and it just doesn't sit.
Understood. Let me ask you this too. Did I interrupt you?
No, you're fine.
Let me ask you this too. You're in a different situation than both of us because you're married. What's the difference between a marriage and just like a romantic relationship between people that have been together for like, let's say like a year or a couple months?
For me, especially when I got married, so I've been married for 3 years now. Me and Ashley, or me and my wife, I've been married been together for like 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
There was some kind of power, not like religious or piece of paper or anything like that. When we got to the altar, we did it in the courthouse. When we sat there in front of the officiator or whatever the actual term is,
Right.
and said I do, there was just a different power, and it's
So just the simple
Like
things.
something else just like locking you two together? Like, what do you mean, a
it-
power?
it's not like it's locking. It's just something that clicks. Like again,
Did it feel spiritual?
I guess you could say that. But like before, when I got married, I was just like, it's just a piece of paper.
Right.
I don't care. It's just. And then I would talk to my married people that were married all the time and be like, "Hey, dog, don't ever say that again because I'm gonna slap the shit out of you." That's what they would say to me. I was at the dealership at the time, so they would talk outlandish. But once I got married, I looked at them and I was just like, "You guys are right. It's like that weird power." Okay, so here's an example. Say you leave your house, you leave the nest, right? You go to your own house, you have your own apartment, and you're just like, damn, I really have my own shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between when you were living on your roof, on your mom's roof, and everything. It's just like, oh, okay, this is nice. I live on I have my own bachelor
space.
pad, my own
I
space,
understand, yeah.
and this thing. And then there's a power to when you go into your own. You literally open the keys to your own door and be like, shit, this is my house.
This is yours, yeah.
So it sounds like with marriage, and this is very obvious, but it sounds like there's just a more sense of security.
Yeah.
Because this is real. This isn't something where we can just be like, okay, well, we're done. Which obviously it is. But
mean,
there's
yeah.
paperwork and all that other stuff involved. But
Yeah, but I think it does connect on a spiritual level to some degree. There's some probably psychological thing that puts out. There's probably some like I don't want to say like FM radio kind of thing transmitting to each other. It's just something that just like switches the shift and like it just switches off or switches on. Then I'm just like, oh, the responsibility, everything is now not necessarily. It was already set in stone because like that, you already have that mentality that you're gonna be with them, and it's just now it's
like on another level.
It's on like it's held higher. Like I hold it higher with much more respect than I did before, and that's not out of like that was not out of like disrespect. That's just plain ignorance though of the feeling.
Right.
So when you guys say, "Nah, fuck marriage," I'm be like, wait till you get there. Wait until you find that one, because I've heard you guys say it a couple times. Be like, fuck marriage, we don't need it. It's just a piece of paper.
Right.
But when you get to that level, when you get there with that one person, and it for me, it doesn't even like I'll explain my marriage on another time, but how we got married. But that power is just that so much power behind it, and it's just night and day.
It's interesting. It sounds pretty undescribable, but I think you did a very good job.
I hope I did.
I think you did a pretty good job.
But
so I guess in terms of like this might be moving into love languages, but you said for you like the whole physical aspect of like maybe like holding hands, like gestures kind of things.
Those I wish. Okay, so
do you know what your love language is? Let me start with that. You should look into that.
It's I believe it's more vocal than physical. I need my wife to tell me that I am good enough. Like that's my overwhelmingly struggle that I'm going through now, and I need it.
Makes sense.
I need to know that I'm being appreciated, and I need to know, and I don't need someone to. I don't need my wife to hold my hand. I don't need my family to come around me and like start touching me. I'm not physically. That does not do anything for me.
Right.
Sometimes like
I've been with people where that's a big thing that they need.
Yeah. My wife is a physical person, and
yeah.
I am coming to terms. It's been a long process, and she can say that it's been a long process. But learning the love languages of each other is definitely a good thing to do, as well as also learning your own, and also at the same time being genuine, because sometimes when I hold my wife's hand, she can tell when I'm not being genuine about it, and that frustrates me because I can't understand why that matters, because the gesture is still there.
Okay.
So because at the end of the day, you are doing it, and
yeah.
At the end of the day, you are doing it for her.
Yeah. So there's like levels between levels.
You're not doing it for you.
Yeah. And like for me, like if I'm gonna hold my wife's hand, I'm gonna be like, my hand's sweaty. For her, it's gonna be like, oh, he wanted to hold my hand, and then it's levels of like different emotions. I'm just like, I just wanted to hold my wife's hand.
Like the same page.
It's just sweaty.
Kind of
that's the classic. That's the classic battle of Joe. It's logic.
Yeah,
over emotion.
that's my one big flaw.
I think you're getting a lot better with it though. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this too. As someone who's never been married, how about this? Has anything sexual changed since marriage? Are you more open to stuff sexually, or has it not really changed? Are you still kind of? I know me personally, I'm a vanilla dude. I like very simple, basic sex as long as it's just good sex. Some people like that crazy freak shit.
I would say that we are on the same page with being vanilla. I think Ashley, my wife, would be, let's try certain things, and I'm more so, why change up what's working? So I can't think of anything specific. If you have a question, you can definitely throw it at me. But
let me ask you this then.
Sure.
Since, is it one of those? Has it been a thing where simply because you're married, you're more willing to try new things? That's what I'm asking you. Has your sexual experiences been more open simply because you were married?
I guess you can. For me personally, I don't think we changed that much. However, the one thing that okay, so my personal problem, my own relationship, is that the emotional side of it. I don't get it sometimes, and that's what hinders us sexually. Because of course she's not in the mood. Now I have to figure out why.
Right.
And I have to like dissect it for some reason and then play the game, kind of thing. But like the problem now, or the thing going now, is more so. I just had it. What changed over the years was we have less sex, only because now there's other shit that's coming to play. Like
you're busier.
We're trying to lay down foundations for building a house, having a baby, financial freedom, stuff like that. And that's just that we're not on the same wavelength. So with that I think that's why everyone's just like, when you're married, just have sex more. because it's gonna
That's
gonna
not
bring.
how it works, though.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
not
sound like it.
because at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you get your emotional side of it.
But you're also building with the person, so like the things that are normal in just a regular old relationship, i.e., sex.
Yeah,
Of
does-
course, that's very important in
Of
a
course.
marriage, but it does take a lower. I guess you call it like a lower rung. It's not as important. You're building a life with someone. There's more
yeah,
things.
There's
there's important.
There's just a lot more things, and it's just
A
like
lot of layers.
yeah.
Okay, so then last question for you: how many times during sex do you think about me?
-2.
Oh, okay.
He actually
-2.
actively doesn't think about you.
So you think
Yeah.
about not thinking about me specifically 2 times.
Yeah, like it's like this weird, like if we pull up on the screen where we, you could see like the screen capturing itself. It's like an infinite cycle of not thinking about.
Well,
it.
let me ask
not.
you this: have you
So, like-
have you seen me naked though? If you haven't seen me naked, then that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the screen right there. That's the infinite loop. Of
It actually just
no.
got a little deeper. Like there were more layers.
But that's the thing is when you see my
way
body,
way
it's like an
back.
infinite loop, and you can't stop seeing it. It's the
No.
only thing you think of
No.
day in day.
No, I'm pretty solid.
So how about you, Malcolm? As far as physical acts of love, is there anything off limits for you? Or are you also like kind of a vanilla dude?
Oh, like sex?
Yeah. I wanted to call it physical acts of love.
I think I'm not vanilla. I think I'm like butter pecan, like a step above vanilla, maybe.
You're into a little bit more than vanilla.
fucking
But you like it though. But you like it though. I'm butter pecan.
It's different.
I'm not vanilla. I'm not vanilla. I'm like
Vanilla,
butter
I'm
pecan.
butter
yeah.
pecan, baby.
I want, okay, let me,
So are you into like wax and shit like that? Are you into toys?
I've only had experience with toys once.
I've never had an
Using
experience
it
with
on
toys.
her.
we did.
Only
Yeah,
once.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Would
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again.
Is it preferable?
Yeah.
I can understand that because I mean, don't get me wrong. You want to feel like you're doing a lot of work, but you can't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And if you
And
can,
beyond that, it's just
you're a sex
a
god.
power thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of like how I have sex is a lot of like a power play kind of thing.
Well, explain that to me.
Um,
You're asserting your dominance
it's
through
funny.
sex.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. Asserting dominance
I mean,
through
yeah,
sex, but
some-
also like seeing what I can get away with.
So
which
then you're
is
a top.
Honestly, another thing.
So then you're a top.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
What he talking about?
Well, there's
I
a
thought
top-
top
there's
and
a top.
bottom was like only for like homosexuals. Homosexual relationships.
No.
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 Because I've always heard like I'm a power bottom, I'm a power top, whatever like that. But I thought that was
No,
like,
that's-
specifically.
no, it's a-
But
gay
hey, look, you're
homosexual
learning
relationship.
something. No,
It's
tops and
more-
bottoms
Yeah,
are
yeah,
in any relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're more you're the person to initiate usually the sex, and you're the guy kind of rocking the boat.
Yeah.
I guess you'd
Yeah,
say.
rocking the boat, knocking the boots, and stuff like that.
Sock on the door. You're just gonna come up with different analogies.
Interesting. I'm kind of the other way around. I'm gonna kind of insinuate that hey, we might be fooling around, and then I want to see what you're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Not you as in Malcolm, because I'm not like
Right,
that.
right.
You're a handsome
You've
fella, but,
envisioned me naked multiple times.
I haven't.
Oh,
but now that
that's the problem.
Now you-
Look
now
at
you're-
see now you
go-
brought it up,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
and then my mind's wandering, man.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's
Showers right there.
it's interesting.
Yeah, he has like chest pubes all over.
All right, I
the place
guess
in
I'll
the
be
shower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna handle this right quick. Get this image out of my mind. So it's interesting. I mean,
What about you?
what about me? Ask me a specific question because we kind of had 40 questions. During
Sure,
this one.
sure. I mean, we've had this conversation, so I'm just gonna throw it out there so the listeners know. You're a vanilla guy, right?
As far as sex,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I wouldn't even say I'm vanilla. I just think the only thing that I'm just not into butt stuff. We can
Booty
do
stuff.
whatever you want, and I'm not even necessarily saying that I'm not into butt stuff. Just I'm
Booty
just-
stuff.
Yeah, booty stuff.
Can
I
of
think I'm
booty
just
sweat.
waiting for the right person. Because that's. I don't care what y'all say, but booty stuff is just nasty. Everyone's always like, it's 2021, grow up. No,
Yeah.
no, stop eating shit.
Yeah.
I remember
You
when
just have to
everyone was
really
like,
love someone to do that, man.
yeah, that's what your mind is?
Have you ever eaten ass?
No.
Have you ever eaten ass?
I never really thought about it either.
Yeah.
Most I've done is kiss
Most you've done is kiss a girl?
ass, yeah.
Oh, you know, I've kissed ass.
Yeah, yeah.
I've definitely kissed ass. But I've also said this. I've been trying to. I've been an ass guy my entire life, but I've had the best ass. I'm trying to make myself a titty guy.
I like move up now.
I'm trying. I'm
Quite
just trying.
literally.
Yeah, I'm just trying to change who I am. I want to see a girl with some. I want to get into titties now.
Yeah.
2 episodes in a row. Sorry, mom.
And start investing in titties now.
Yeah.
For me, it's now that question comes up. Actually, it's a perfect that we should all answer that. You answered that. I am a tits guy. I also, though,
Really?
yes, absolutely. However, proportions. I don't know what it is. If it's the proportions that just make, I don't know. You can have a slim waist, whatever, huge ass, yeah, whatever. But if it's proportionate, that's more attractive than anything. I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Like if I had this facade where I'm just like, she's a C, and she comes out to be actual a C, I'd be like, damn, that's proportionate.
Pretty
That looks good.
So let me ask you this then. Okay, so, and I have a similar question for you, but it's slightly different. When you first see a girl, what's the first thing that you notice? And that being said, can you automatically be attracted as in I want to date this person just off of sheer looks alone, the things that you were seeing?
Okay, so it's a combination of things. Your go-to answer, of course, tits. I'm a guy. First two answer is gonna be tits. Right. No, my first actual real answer is teeth.
Teeth?
Yeah.
Teeth is a good one.
There is like a weird thing about teeth that it's just like it
just
pulls
you
me.
on.
It doesn't turn me on. It just pulls me.
Absolutely, just
absolutely.
I think what it is teeth.
just,
teeth could be the first thing to turn you off.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought you were
I think
going
that's
for,
what it
to be
really is.
No. It absolutely because the way
Understood.
that of course I mean you have your own style and you have everybody has their own reason why their teeth are what they are. But someone that has like fucking perfect canines, who has I can't think of anybody that their teeth just fucking wow.
I mean, you got a pretty good set on you, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Fun fact: this I think you have it too. The tooth that sticks out on the side.
Canine.
My sign right here, that canine, that specific one. Apparently in Japan, it's if a female has that, it's like a instant turn on.
I have the biggest canines on the planet. I'm not going to show you right now, but I have the biggest canines on the planet. Yeah, which goes back to the animal thing. I really am literally a wolf. Yeah. So then let me ask you this. Were you done? I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Let me ask you this. You can't just see a woman and automatically be attracted to her because the main thing that you're attracted to is her mind. Is that a correct assumption?
Honestly, yeah. Like, of course, physical attraction is the first thing I'll be looking at.
But you can't look at a female just off of her physicality and be like, okay, I'm kind of crushing on her already.
Nah, not really.
But you can.
Kind of.
I can kind of crush on her already on the physical aspect. Like, sure, I'll want to like be looking at her and shit, but there's always that next layer that I'm like, that's on my mind.
That's the same thing.
So my thing is, I can almost immediately like a girl like that, but what I do is I project, oh, this is how she's going to be, and that's why I like her. When in reality, it's never how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
I kind of do the same thing in my head. Like I say, okay, she's probably kind of like this, just based off how she looks. Like she's kind of like
that's what it is. I mean, until you're with someone for a year and a half, you're projecting.
Yeah.
This is what I think you are, and this is kind of how you're portraying yourself, and this is what I believe you are. You don't really notice until months and months and months, maybe years into the relationship, their true nature, exactly who they are.
Yeah. I describe it the best way I describe it. I'm sorry if I cut you off, but the best way I describe it is, even though it's kind of like a horrible way to describe it, is they're ugly. So everybody has an ugly side of them. You don't get to every time you go on a date with them, they're gonna be all dolled up. They're gonna be on their game, being like, I know what kind of conversations I'm gonna have. I'm gonna steer it in the right way where I'm gonna go. But at the same time, once you get the substance, that's when you get the real ugly side of people. And you realize their mannerisms, how they keep the house, how they like the small. Like I tell everybody that's been going into a relationship, look for the shit that you find adorable now, and then in a couple of months, / year or two, you're gonna find that to be the most irritating thing on the fucking planet.
That's where we differ. I'm going to cling to those things. This is exactly what I like about you, and I'm going to do my best to not change you to be exactly that.
Yeah.
But maybe bring out those traits a little more.
Well, there's that, but there's
depends
also
on what it is. Actually.
Absolutely, it depends. I'm talking about the positive traits, like the things that you notice, like the adorable things, right?
Yeah.
Those things I'm going to make very aware that those are the things I like, and hopefully you'll reciprocate that, and that's kind of who you'll be also. Yeah. Not to say change yourself, but you do what you do in relationships.
Yeah, no, it's more so than like the negative sides. Say like in the beginning, she chews with her mouth. I have a pet peeve about choosing with the mouth open. So, like in the beginning, she's like, she's hot. I don't mind it. 3 months later down the road, 3 years later,
it's like hard to ignore.
Chew with your mouth fucking closed. And it just blows up even more. So shit like that just like stacks against you, and it's just like you have to pay attention to those things.
So, what was your most successful relationship then, for you too?
I don't think I've had a. I mean, if I have to choose one, I have to choose one. But I don't think I've ever had a successful relationship at all.
I think
the longest one I've had has been about a year.
I think they should change up the question. The question itself, I don't think it should be what's your most successful relationship. It's what's the most it's the best. Like, what's the most information that you've learned about yourself or how to reciprocate to the other person for the next
Right.
person that you've gotten into?
Right. So okay, yeah, I was dating this girl Lucy Lou for about a year, and I learned a lot from her. I learned exactly what I like, exactly what I don't like. My views on what I want later in life have changed a ton, and I give her the credit. Like I was always, there was a long time where I was like, I'm going to be a dad. I was born to be a better father than my father was. A lot of that's changed. I don't want to be a dad anymore. If I meet the right person and she wants a kid, absolutely I'll give her a kid. Okay. Of course, I love that kid and I want that kid. But right now in my life, I don't necessarily want that kid.
And that came from her?
That came from her. She didn't want kids. And that was a big thing for me. I just, if you don't want kids, what are we doing together? Mm-hmm. I ended up changing my mind. She didn't believe me, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that's probably one of the main things is I've learned exactly who I am through that relationship. I've learned that I'm a very emotional guy.
Yeah.
No matter how much I hide it. I'm a very emotional guy. I'm always constantly in my head, but the main thing I've realized is I want someone. I want them long term. I don't want to just take it day by day. I want to make a plan. I want to build with you.
Yeah.
But the things that constitute a successful relationship.
Yeah, like in your head.
The things that made that relationship as successful as it was, communication was pretty great. She made it very clear what she wanted. I made it very clear what I wanted.
That's good.
That being said, we kind of neither of us changed our opinions on it. We kind of just kept going because we had different opinions on what we wanted.
Yeah. So you both didn't like work on it, which is fine. This just wasn't for you both, I guess.
I mean,
was it meant to be?
You gotta ask. It's different for every person. To me, I worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, she didn't work on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it depends on who you ask. Maybe she did. I just didn't. I didn't feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main things that constitute a great relationship for me is trust. And I just want you to reciprocate what I'm giving you. And I've never felt that. I've never felt the love that I've given somebody. Okay. That's probably the biggest thing on why my relationships have failed, because I've never felt that love back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm working on, you know?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll see, though.
Yeah, it'd change up.
What about you? What's your most successful relationship been, or what constitutes a successful relationship for you?
It's hard to say what constitutes a successful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna say if you've never had one, but I guess if you've never had one, if you've never had a relationship that worked out long term. But the longest relationship I ever had was like 8 years. A girl I knew in high school.
That's
more than 8 years
impressive, man.
actually. Yeah,
I
like
think
more than 8 years.
You wouldn't. Well, I don't know the details into it already, but you wouldn't consider that successful, huh?
Nah, like in the end, we just didn't work out.
See, that's why the
both
question.
on-
That's
Right.
why
Both
I
for
wanted to
faults.
word it differently.
Yeah.
Because at the end,
Nothing.
Where-
is-
where's she
unless you're
now?
still with
Yeah,
them,
exactly.
right?
yeah, you're not
It's
winning.
not really successful.
Whether that definition of that question, you're not with them, so you
Yeah,
lost.
that's
So
like-
Interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to constitute a successful relationship, but yeah, we were together for like 8 years in total. We went about like a year and a half without speaking because we just knew that we weren't working out. We knew
I
we
still
needed
haven't
space.
spoken to my ex.
Yeah.
Not by choice, but
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, it
It
happens.
happens. Yeah.
that's all we can do.
I'm also one of those people where I don't think it makes sense to be friends with your ex. What do you gain from that?
Yeah, because that's more of a game that's being
complicates
played, to be
things.
honest.
Yeah.
It just complicates a lot of shit.
You're teetering on like.
Yeah.
Listen, you're someone that I've had a lot of sex with. I had a
Mhm.
lot of romantic experience with
Like,
you. I had a
you
lot
know
of
a lot
nights
about
with you.
me.
I don't want to just
Be
chop
hanging
it up
around
with you.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
that's-
chop it up with
that's
you.
hard as shit to do. Yeah.
like and I don't want to continue to talk shit about Lucy Lou, but I removed her on all of my social media, and when I told her I did that, I gave her a heads up because I didn't want her to just go through and be like, oh, you removed me and everything. I told her that I was going to do it because I don't want to see you with someone new. I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to build with you.
Yeah.
She took it as like a sign of disrespect, like you didn't need to tell me that. That's absolutely not what it is. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense for us to chop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't.
I didn't want to be your friend. I wanted to be in a romantic relationship with you.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it works out, but very, very
It
rarely.
depends.
You have to
Depends
truly,
on that relationship.
you have to truly be over the person that,
Yeah.
and normally you have to be with someone new as well.
That and for me, I gotta keep it 100% almost business oriented. Mm-hmm. Not even a pun, not even a bit. I'm legitimately his business. What do you want? What do we? You're here for what? You're XYZ. That's what you get. XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Back off. But you're not getting anything extra.
Because it doesn't,
No
Because,
being around
like-
the bush and none of that shit.
right?
Yeah.
Because explain it to me. If it doesn't, it just doesn't make sense. Does it make sense at all to be friends with your ex?
No,
I
I
don't.
don't think it makes sense.
I don't see I don't see any positives
hard.
coming from that.
I mean,
Is it mature? Absolutely, but you're faking. You're faking because someone there has feelings in some
Yeah,
way.
because it's
Yeah.
something that you both want and it's
Yeah.
each other, and it's hard to look past that shit. It's hard.
and some what it really is, it's more of being inclinate or like being stuck on the past. I remember so and so from this time, but that so and so has died and is no longer there.
don't
We
exist,
die every
yeah.
day and become another person every day. We learn something new every day. So that person that I met 3 years ago is not the same person I'm looking at today.
Yeah.
Their whole mindset is different. It may be some of it be the same, but
You're not the person that I loved at one time.
yeah. So either move if your inclination is to get back into that kind of graces where you're trying to levy into that, give a fair warning.
Yeah.
We're gonna end it here soon. Let me ask you this: the girl that you dated for 8 years, she hit you up today and she asked for you back. She said, "Malcolm, I need you. I need that chocolate back in my life."
damn.
What did he say?
That'd
Butter
be hard.
pecan.
Yeah, butter
Butter
pecan.
pecan.
I need that butter pecan back in my life. I'm tired of this vanilla
That'd be
crap. I need
hard.
that butter pecan. What would
In
you
the
do?
end, I'd have to say
Tootsie Roll.
no, but like I would. It would be hard. 'Cause
Would
I
you
just
consider it,
want
though?
to be her friend? Yeah, I consider it for a very long time.
Fair
I
enough.
consider it for a very long time.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But in the end, I would have to. I would hope I would like say no and like tell her why, even though she knows why.
Mm-hmm.
Like you asking that question is kind of funny because I know she won't because
It's just how it is.
we know each other better. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just know each other better. Like we know we shouldn't. And we,
Yeah.
we probably won't.
That
We
makes
shouldn't.
sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna die alone. So
Probably.
I'm gonna die a lone wolf.
Fucking lone wolf, dude. That's all this shit is.
And
All right, guys. Hey, remember to like, subscribe, all that extra BS.
Good stuff.
And
And then
is
we'll
there
get
anything else?
sponsored by Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gatorades are probably the
Taste
main
the rainbow.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skittles.
Yeah, that was kind
That was Skittles.
That was Skittles, but you know, Gatorade is not.
Snack that smiles back.
Yeah, you know,
Just keep naming a bunch of wrong ones. All right, guys. That was the business meeting.